going to do now is I'm just going to take some of this excess oil, pour it out, because we don't need to have so much. We don't need to have so much oil in the pan.
So you're just leaving a little
tiny bit of oil to finish making the sauce.
Okay.
And to make the sauce, what we're going to do is we're going to take some onions and add it in there. And what I would normally do is I would normally add these onions in there raw and allow them to cook for about 20 minutes. But to save some time, I've already browned the onions. So we're just going to take these browned onions, add them right into this pan like that, and really just get them hot at this point. So we're just going to shake them around.
So you want to have your onions really caramelized.
Right, and that's the thing. And very, very slowly. It takes 20 minutes to do that.
Wow.
And because what that does is it allows them to cook all the way through. If you brown them very fast and they're brown on the outside and they're still raw on the inside, and they don't taste very good. So the onions go in, and then we're going to go in here with these chili peppers, green chili peppers. These are actually Serrano chilies, so a little more Mexican than Indian, but they'll accomplish the same effect there. Go ahead and drop that in there. And then we're going to add, this is just some crushed up ginger. You can just drop that right inside there. Beautiful.
Yum.
Okay. And we're just going to toss that around inside there. A wooden spoon would be good to mix that up a little bit. We can actually use our spatula here, just very gently. Again, don't scrape the bottom of the pan. Toss that around. And because our onions are already cooked, this is going to go very, very quickly. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the green sauce that we made earlier.
Yum, yum, yum.
We're just going to pour that right inside there. Okay.
This reminds me of a mask I had on my face once.
Okay, so we add the sauce.
Okay.
Swirl it around inside there real nice. And then we're going to add our peppers.
Just regular red bell peppers?
These are regular bell peppers. And we're going to let this simmer for just a few moments very gently, just to kind of somewhat cook the peppers.
Now you can cut these peppers up into julienne pieces.
You can make them a little smaller, a little bigger, really whatever it is you like. And then what we're going to see here is a very colorful dish. We've got the green spinach sauce. We're going to have the nice red peppers inside there. We're going to have the fried white cheese. This is going to look really, really good.
Looks like a Christmas dish to me.
There you go. Very Christmassy. Good time of year for that.
It's a good gift to give.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just going to, again, bring that up to a boil, make sure everything's nice and hot, let the peppers get a little tender. And while that's coming up, we have some spices here that we're going to add. And again, what makes this Indian is really the flavor profile that we have going on there. So we have some turmeric, and we want to add maybe about a half a teaspoon of turmeric inside there.
So is turmeric something that's very common in Indian cooking?
It's very common in that part of the world, not just in Indian cooking, but in a lot of the cuisines of that general area of kind of Western Asia, I guess, or Eastern European. So, and then we also have some garam masala. And garam masala is as a mixture of different spices. So there's some cinnamon in there and some clove inside there, some coriander inside there. So it's almost like a curry powder, if you will.
And that is very, very typical of Indian recipes.
Very,
I always see
Indian
recipes with garam masala.
So why don't we switch over to a wooden spoon, and this way we can stir things around very, very nicely.
Ooh, and I've got stuff all over me.
And we're just about ready to add the cheese now. So why don't you go ahead and just slide the cheese right in there. And well, you can do that, or you can just...
You're going to go whole hog?
I'm just going to go ahead and slide the cheese right in
there. Oh
there.
my gosh, no wonder I love this dish.
And then just very gently, you can toss it around. We don't want to break the cheese up too much.
Bathe it beautifully in green ancho sauce. Am I doing
that?
Well, I'm not really
you're doing it right.
I think the mastering's
watch this here.
Woo!
Toss it around a little bit like that, and hopefully not get it on the floor or on your shoes.
There you go.
Anything like that. So I think that's it. Everything is nice and hot. Everything's nice and cooked. It smells fabulous.
It does. Oh my gosh.
It smells like an Indian restaurant. Okay, so we turn it off, and then nothing too fancy. We're just going to go ahead and lay that all right out onto a nice little plate there.
That's what's nice about it, is it isn't fancy. It's a very rustic dish.
Very rustic, very unobtrusive, and you'll find that a lot in the cuisines of that part of the world. Let's try it.
Okay.
How's that?
Wow. That's probably the best saag paneer I've ever had.
Cool.
I have to say. Chef Kamen, thank you so much for showing me how to make this.
My pleasure.
One of my favorite dishes of all. It's such a treat.
Glad I could help out.
Thanks.
Thank you.